Banknote Authentication with Machine Learning. In this lesson we will use data to help distinguish real and fake banknotes. The problem matters because detecting counterfeit money is important for banks, businesses, and individuals. You will learn how to work with real-world data, make predictions using machine learning, and avoid common mistakes. By the end of this lesson, you will build models, debug errors, and solve a classification task using Python. Running the cell now. First, let me explain why we need these imports. NumPy is used for numerical operations. Pandas helps us work with tabular data. Matplotlib is for data visualization. Seaborn offers enhanced statistical graphics. Train_test_split is needed to split our data into training and testing sets. Logistic regression is a machine learning model for classification tasks. Classification_report, confusion_matrix, and accuracy_score are tools for evaluating how well our model performs. Warnings can be distracting, so we will suppress them here. We tell Python to ignore warnings in output cells. Running the cell now. Try to briefly explain to yourself why each library is useful after running the cell. Understanding the data. The Banknote Authentication dataset contains data about images of banknotes. Each row is a banknote and columns are features extracted from its image. There are 1372 rows and 4 numerical features. The target column is called the class and tells us if a note is real, 0, or fake, 1. Common beginner mistake, ignoring data types or missing values, there are none here. Running the cell now. Now let us load the Banknote Authentication dataset using OpenML. Downloading the dataset from OpenML using the appropriate function. Importing the function fetch_OpenML from scikit-learn.datasets to load datasets. Setting the random seed to 42 to ensure reproducibility of results. Fetching the banknote dataset by its OpenML data_ID, requesting a pandas data frame. Extracting the pandas data frame from the dataset object for easier data manipulation. Printing the shape of the data frame to understand its size and dimensionality. Displaying the first few rows of the data frame to get a quick overview of the data. Running the cell now. The dataset has 1372 rows and 5 columns, including 4 numerical features, V1 to V4, and the target column class. Each row represents a banknote, with the class indicating whether it is real, 0, or fake, 1. This confirms the dataset is well structured and ready for exploration without missing values, aligning with the lesson's focus on understanding the data layout and types. Challenge: try looking at df.tail in a separate cell. Let us make sure there are no missing values before moving forward. Check each column for missing values using isNull and sum. Running the cell now. This output shows that there are no missing values in any of the columns, including the 4 features and the target class. Noticing this confirms our data is complete and ready for analysis, allowing us to move forward without needing to handle missing data, an important early step in understanding and preparing the dataset. Why is checking for missing values always a good first step? Let us explore the structure and the types of our data columns. Use info to see data types and number of non-null values for each column. Call the info method on the data frame to display summary information about the data set. Running the cell now. This output confirms the dataset has 1372 rows and 5 columns, with no missing values, which is crucial for reliable analysis. Notice the 4 feature columns, V1 to V4, are numeric floats, while the class target is correctly set as a category, reflecting whether banknotes are real or fake. This step ensures we understand data structure and types before any modeling. Which columns are numeric? Can any be considered for removal? We will explore basic statistics to understand the spread and averages. Describe gives an overview of mean, STD deviation, minute, and max for each column. Running the cell now. This summary shows that all 4 features have 1372 values, confirming no missing data, which is crucial for clean analysis. Notice the wide range and variation in each feature, with means near zero but large standard deviations, indicating diverse values extracted from the banknote images. Understanding these basic stats helps us grasp the data's scale and variability before moving on to modeling or normalization steps. Practice: try to interpret what variance or skewness might mean for the features. Beginner examples. Let us visualize the target class distribution. We will also make simple plots for each numerical feature. Mistake to avoid: never skip looking at your data with simple graphs. Running the cell now. Let us see how many fake and real notes there are in our dataset. Create a count plot to show the distribution of values in the class a column of the data frame. Use Seaborn's count plot to visualize the balance between classes in the dataset. Add a title to the plot describing what it shows. Label the x-axis to indicate what the class values represent. Label the y-axis to indicate the count of samples per class. Display the plot on the screen. Running the cell now. This bar plot clearly shows the class distribution between real and fake banknotes in the dataset. Notice the imbalance in the counts, which is crucial to consider for model training. Visualizing this helps us understand the target variable's balance, a key first step in any data analysis. Notice if the classes are balanced. Why is balance important in classification? Now let us visualize distributions for each numeric feature. Create histograms for each feature in the data frame. Plot histograms of all data frame features with specified figure size and bins. Adjust spacing for better appearance. Render all the plots. Running the cell now. This output shows histograms for each numerical feature in the dataset, helping us quickly understand their distributions and spot any skewness or outliers. Notice the shape and spread of each feature's values, which is crucial for choosing appropriate pre-processing steps later. This visual check aligns with our lesson goal: never skip exploring your data with simple graphs before building models. Which features look most different between real and fake notes? Guess which could help the prediction. Let us now compare distributions of each feature grouped by the class label. Prepare to visualize how the features vary for real versus fake notes. Create a wide plot canvas. Loop through each feature except the last, target, and make a subplot. Draw a box plot comparing the feature by class. Set the plot title to the feature name. Adjust spacing. Display the set of box plots. Running the cell now. This output shows box plots for each numerical feature, separated by the target class, allowing us to visually compare their distributions and spread. Notice how the median, quartiles, and potential outliers differ across classes, which can hint at feature importance for classification. This simple visualization is crucial to understand data patterns before modeling. Can you spot which features show the best separation between classes? Intermediate examples. We are ready to split data into train and test sets. The next step is to fit a classifier and evaluate predictions. Mistake: training and evaluating on the same data makes the model seem too good. Running the cell now. We must separate our features from the target variable. Add a comment indicating the separation of features and target variables. Assign every column except the class column to X as features. Assign the class column to Y as the target variable. Running the cell now. Which columns could be used for modeling? Are any redundant or suspicious? Splitting the dataset into 75% training and 25% test is a common strategy. Use train_test_split to break into training and testing partitions. Set the random seed for repeatability. Running the cell now. What would happen if we did not set a random_state parameter? Now, let us train a logistic regression classifier. Add a comment indicating that this is logistic regression for prediction. Create the Logistic Regression Model object. Fit, train the model on our training data. Running the cell now. This output shows that the Logistic Regression Model has been successfully created and trained on the training data. Notice there's no error, indicating the model is ready to make predictions. This step is crucial because fitting the model only on the training set prevents overly optimistic evaluations on the test set later. Logistic regression is a sensible baseline for binary classification. Can you suggest a more complex model? Let us make predictions on our test set and see how well our model does. Explain that this is the step where the model generates predictions for the test set. Generate class predictions for the test data. Print the accuracy score to see the % of correct predictions. Display the confusion matrix to see types of errors. Print the full classification report to check precision, recall, and F1 a score. Running the cell now. This output shows the model's performance on the test data, highlighting an accuracy of about 98.8%, which indicates strong predictive power. Notice the confusion matrix's small number of misclassifications, 2 false positives and 2 false negatives, confirming balanced performance across both classes. This evaluation on the separate test set demonstrates the importance of splitting data to get a realistic measure of the model's ability to generalize. Challenge: which metric is most important in our context? Banknote authentication. Seeing a heat map can help us spot error patterns quickly. Comment stating the purpose, visualize confusion matrix. Start a new figure for the plot. Draw the confusion matrix using a blue color theme. Label the x-axis for predicted results. Label the y-axis for actual values. Add a plot title. Show the visualization. Running the cell now. This confusion matrix visualizes the performance of our classifier on the test data, showing how many true labels were correctly or incorrectly predicted. Notice the diagonal values represent correct predictions, highlighting the model's accuracy on unseen data. This step is crucial to evaluate the model fairly, avoiding the pitfall of testing on the training set, which can give misleadingly optimistic results. Discuss: why is a confusion matrix heat map sometimes better than just numbers? More intermediate, explore correlations. Correlations can highlight redundant features. We can visualize which features are most related. Running the cell now. Correlation matrices can show us if some features provide similar information. Calculate the correlation matrix of the data frame. Store the correlation matrix in the variable core. Create a figure with a width of 6 inches and a height of 4 inches. Plot the correlation matrix as a heat map with annotations and a cool-warm color scheme. Add the title Correlation Matrix to the heat map. Display the heat map plot. Running the cell now. This correlation heat map reveals the strength and direction of relationships between all pairs of features in the dataset, with deep reds indicating strong positive correlations and deep blues indicating strong negatives. Notice key columns with high correlations, as these may signal redundant features that could be dropped or combined to simplify the model. This visual insight helps prioritize which variables to focus on or revise during feature engineering. If 2 features are highly correlated, would you keep both? Why or why not? Advanced examples. Let us try a different algorithm, random forest. We can also examine feature importances. Mistake: forgetting to set the random seed or tuning parameters. Running the cell now. We now train a random forest for improved performance and see if it beats logistic regression. Import the required random forest classifier. Set the seed for reproducibility. Create a random forest model with the same seed. Train the model on the training data. Predict classes on the test data. Print the accuracy for comparison. Running the cell now. Here, the random forest model achieves a very high accuracy of about 99.4%, showing its strong predictive power on the test data. Setting the random seed ensures reproducibility, which is crucial when tuning and comparing models. This output highlights the effectiveness of random forest and the importance of controlling randomness in advanced modeling tasks. Did random forest outperform logistic regression? Random forest gives us a heuristic ranking of feature importance. Add a comment to indicate the start of feature importance visualization. Extract feature importance values from the trained random forest model. Get the feature names from the dataset columns. Create a bar plot with features on the x-axis and their importance scores as the bar heights. Add a title to the plot describing what it shows. Label the y-axis to indicate the meaning of the values. Display the plot on the screen. Running the cell now. This bar chart displays the feature importances calculated by the random forest model, highlighting which features most influence its predictions. Notice how some features have much higher importance scores, indicating they contribute more to the model's decisions. This visualization helps us understand the model's behavior and guides us in feature selection or further tuning. Which features seem most important? Would you drop any for simplicity? As an advanced step, let us estimate model accuracy using 5-fold cross-validation. Title comment about performing cross-validation. Import the cross_val_score function from scikit-learn to evaluate models using cross-validation. Use cross_val_score with logistic regression on data X and labels Y, splitting the data into 5 folds. Print the mean accuracy computed over the 5 folds. Running the cell now. This output shows the average accuracy of a logistic regression model evaluated with 5-fold cross-validation, which is about 98.98%. Notice how using cross-validation provides a more reliable performance estimate by testing the model on different subsets of the data. This sets the stage for comparing with more complex algorithms like random forest and highlights the importance of model evaluation techniques in advanced examples. Why is cross-validation considered a good practice? Error handling and debugging. Let us see an example error and how to fix it. Mistake: using a string column in a numeric model causes value error. Running the cell now. Let us demonstrate what happens if our data contains invalid string columns. Create a copy of the original data frame to avoid modifying it directly. Add a new column named bad_column filled with the string text. Start a try block to attempt fitting the model and handle errors. Fit a logistic regression model using all columns except a class as features and a class as the target. Catch any value error that occurs during fitting and assign it to variable e. Print the error message contained in the caught value error. Running the cell now. This output shows a value error caused by including a string column, bad_column, in the model input, which expects numeric data. Notice the error message could not convert string to float. Text highlights the mismatch in data types. This example underscores the importance of ensuring all features are numeric before fitting models, a key step in debugging data issues. Practice: always check your columns for the correct data type before modeling. Now let us fix the above error by removing the string column. Explain that the error is fixed by removing the problematic column, which is a string type. Drop the column named bad_column from the data frame to prevent errors during model training. Instantiate a new logistic regression model object to be trained. Train the logistic regression model using features except the target column class. Output a message indicating the model has been successfully trained after the fix. Running the cell now. This output confirms that removing the problematic string column resolved the value error caused by passing non-numeric data to the model. The key takeaway is how dropping a bad_column allows the logistic regression to train without error, illustrating a practical step in error handling and data cleaning for numeric modeling. Can you think of other messy data scenarios? Best practices and patterns. Always check for missing values and data types first. Split data properly for honest evaluation. Use visualizations for patterns, distribution, and error analysis. Always set the random seed for reproducibility. Try several models rather than trusting just one. Running the cell now. Let us run a quick experiment by predicting just the first test sample. Describe the problem, predicting a single fake note from test data. Select a single sample row from the test data set for prediction. Get the true class label corresponding to the selected sample. Use the random forest model to predict the class of the sample. Print the predicted label alongside the actual true label. Running the cell now. Here, the code predicts the label for a single test sample, confirming that the random forest model correctly identified this fake note, label 1. This quick check illustrates the concept of model evaluation on individual data points, reinforcing the importance of proper data splitting and verifying predictions before scaling up to full datasets. Repeat this with a few more rows to see if the model keeps working well. Please subscribe and share this lesson if you learned something new today. Sometimes, we want to save our charts to share or analyze later. Add a comment describing the purpose of the following code block. Create a figure and a set of axes for the plot. Plot a bar chart using feature names and their importance scores. Set the title of the plot to describe what it shows. Label the y-axis to indicate the meaning of the bars. Save the figure as a PNG image file named feature_importance_plot.png. Running the cell now. This output shows a saved bar plot of feature importances, highlighting which input variables contribute most to the model. Notice the clear visualization of each feature's score, helping us interpret model behavior. Saving the plot is a best practice for review and reproducibility, ensuring insights can be shared and revisited later. Now let us open and review the saved plot of feature importances. Try opening the image after it is saved. Did it look as expected? Recap and next steps. You now know how to load, explore, and model the banknote dataset. You saw how to spot and fix common errors. You learned to visualize data and interpret predictions. Next, try adding new models, adjusting hyperparameters, or running further error analysis. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tutorials. Running the cell now.